me no ya dwena me da sen so said you a photo the obi here photo. And so he's in right. And the good thing is that he's even watching the show.
Oh, okay.
But just a quick one. I agree. It's actually a lot of people hold Ken in higher standard than Abronya. I did Abronya be ya fan where you can ya on the because Abronya
on the Abronya you know among canasem. Ken dear
and quickly, just a context. Ne hono mo fidie de kwache pa.
Yeah.
Na me wo ho. We live with disability ewenani. Se bi wo hu ade. One more day proposal or the truck cutter, obi truck cutter man and no party ne was some party pa na che glaucoma set in.
Okay.
The we sit down ya no untimi enya ahoden ye dey emo so say obayare along the way.
Yeah.
So mo the cutter buy Tom the cat by him same penny for where the man we need the man we almost pass ya na be do general secretary. And a general secretary the cat the man can say, hey, Ujamfo, who they say what you mean the Copes Kayade and moi papano. To be Kayas at that time on 7,500 cedis.
Okay.
And why na brought the incident near the ACM. In the context near say, a brand new PC camo bino. We are also here ni. Many of the breme by a Drew say a problem that they do be at them there. When I hear from when I can go assembly no but who say what the bufu e customer instead of hearing was here for and I got for that so say here for but the context was not who say background now man obi han tiase so so the here for united atom in terms of nipa lifestyle and the conduct and what he stood for why na say be waboa mobro ani omo ni be than Kenin and MPP nobody the list can go on. It's been a way of life. If you want to also measure so much on Sir or transits now, to be fair, the context has to be properly said. But I don't think say yeah DSO episode did here for it. And now go pay president do say talk about go here for them. Na ko manya here for the door so get talk. Quick. I say me now say dey. Oh hey, I did Dr. Bawumia say affect. Was a quick report to say affected. But for me, look, I respect Dr. Bawumia's view. But this is what I'm saying. It's a very sensitive one to me. I so I just used 2 minutes to answer. For me, I'll be surprised if Okwe report does not capture religion and ethnicity as factors that affected 2024 election. Not on any ill motive. But we are people of religion. We are people of culture. Dr. Bawumia crowd there didn't buy it. Young said banner just to prevent the whole target MPP account party. Was religiously and tribally motivated. Didn't like him say religion and tribe did not affect the election. But mind with me, 2 bars mark 100. Emu 99 a bomb pie and send you 2 bars. We are people of religion. Kemuni Kowari Christian. Recently gave you a minute at them can't manage. First you catch them so you Christian. And that is a reality. We've only learned to live amongst each other. It does not necessarily mean say those religious friends say decisions, or when we are making decisions, we don't make records to those religious and ethnicity. You make it. You talk about 1592. They be a Santa region to my MPP, voter region to my this. What are you talking about? Say ethnicity affects your electoral outcome. It does. But the whole point now Dr. Kase. We say Dr. example no ko use a sense out, and I'm doing that briefly, just a minute. We say a sense out no Muslim no OBT. Reverend Minister or no software in terms of the elections. But remember just a brief analysis if you were where at every point when you take the text out of the context, you only be discussing the practice and not the text properly so called. I said now come confirm with Laura, but most more time But I want to say at every point you should look at the dynamics present before you are able to do a holistic analysis of the course you the I sense out as a man independent candidate independent candidate in team for Joe no MPP no onu pulu 26.22%. In team for Joe pulu 39%. And independent candidate no also pulu 22.38%, right? What can you now now they compare Dr. Bawumia vosa. Will you be able to make any fair or comprehensive or coherent analysis? If you want to compare, if you want to have a very holistic view or analysis of what really pertained you have to compare the presidential elections and the presidential results to that of the previous presidential election. I mean, presidential elections in 2016, GM nya 35.77%. Nanado nya 62.22%. Now, bra 2024. Over 2024, GM nya 50.56%, DMB nya 46.68%. Into the DMB kwa the compare another DMB so say 15.54%. And GM so the cost so 14.49%. But in London, what I just want to say is the independent candidates, now or a pro MPP guy, one move votes in me a day, that's how come you see Dr. Bawumia's votes being higher. But the Dr. Bawumia votes compared to the predecessor, President Akufo-Addo, the votes also rather 15%, and Jawama votes rather went high by 14%. So you cannot use that as a test case to say, religion did not affect. We are people of religion, a people of culture. All our decisions are born out of religion and ethnicity. Why do you say about the NDM play? It plays a role. Okay. Echo from to lead us as a people.
If you know all you need is provoke Kent, and he will go haywire.
Well, and now I made a pronouncement on one of your sister stations, and I said, "Let Ken be Ken," and I always stand by it. Let Ken be Ken, which I say. So
you brought that phrase now.
Yes.
Afa Ajibebia, let Ken be Ken. Let Ken be Ken. No.
Yes. Yeah, because there is a history to that.
Okay.
Trump. Brana, the campaign manager, one more day, the people, his campaign team felt that we need to change the guy. Now, Trump and Sebu Hall can't, and you can say, Trump quite know is what the demand term, Obia, or Yabano conviction or sentence, or it might be the president. But they realize, the leadership, every people get the leadership that it deserves, and that the leadership is the reflection of who the people are. Into unya leadership abribiano akoye more or less like pentimento or butri or hoso brand of say ahombrasia hine incorruptible Mahama is the hope but our argument is that uka temperamental the other leaders that people also see as timid. People see other leaders as timid. There are people who also see other leaders say one crowd or manipulative buaha obia ti manipulating me last election won't say that the neighbor just to have control, which may not necessarily be so. These are normal but we are timid that it may be a weakness, but also it can also be opportunity. Leveraging who so this guy is a calm person just like Honorable Ken. Whilst people see him as temperamental, Mimi who say if we he's a human being. Obviously, he will seek to build himself. But Mimi, who more or less like a bold and fearless and passionate leader. Yet, Mikobi, I had the opportunity to be there half a day. A young man, chairman, on the Papa No relationship, far microphone for about 45 minutes. The deep Papa Tem can say, Me, the ordinary expectation is a Tanku, se Mashiwa before. Na minya na MC ordinarily no anka owie kura ko mfa microphone nya dey emma ko de ma another person or for nanka emuadwo ye wi na dey microphone ko share ken dey ensem so onkasa. And the sad part is say abronya yes I no mani nyina no all leadership eto menyu otwe nya de wa obi en ho timi condemn we. Whilst you see him as temperamental, don't you also think say it's part of the Ghanaian value system? Say, obi ade na nyam penifo ho say catch no say ade o ye nya dey enye. What I say, Ken may be so passionate about it and talk it in a certain way. Be within the Ghanaian context or cultural context, people may not really appreciate it. Say, oh, Ghana the enkasem. But let me ask you, your cultural context, ye katasubo mo so empese normal, ye bekan as how it is, in terms of educational transformation. And I build the roads amaye. I build the hospitals amaye. And then the more about Kufu for millions of dollars contract but we get people defending him. Why? Because Ghana the encapenyasem. So for me, there are some times that you need to call a spade. But I also agree that Nipa, just like all of us, say who leaders busy or more timid, they need to stand up. When people also view him as temperamental, whilst it can be construed as somebody who is so passionate, bold and fearless, he also need to work on himself as a human being.
Timidity and temperament, you think temperament is the best?
Well, I don't.
That is if it is so between timidity and temperament.
For me, I am of the view that the people of Ghana are more interested in what these two I mean, without even putting names or faces to them, but I can speak for Honorable Ken. The people of Ghana are more interested in what he can do for them based on his lifestyle, what he stands for, and what he has stood for in the past. Somebody who ultimately challenging the party. Say, hey, look at this. Nipa, how many years were in politics? Has there been any tag of corruption on him for once? What I say? These are what the ordinary people of Ghana seeks. That pentimental style of leadership, no. Okova that boy di. Now no me hear in the video ba kuno oboba mi biti. Obedi MP about any bio.
Onyatam
kwa. Me hu nkofo abra no mpepo so mkwatsa oni nipa di bayire. Na wo gwamtanko. Are you more interested in the oni obedi bayire and the obajo ma healthcare? We need to, as a people, be conscious of that reality. Say your politics, you move away from that manipulative politics. Baby, we do obunipa. Me over kojo ban reduce style be. Within a certain context, for harmonious living and harmonious building. Obviously, from no church, it's symbolic. Na be a mind for communal labor no di anymore. But withdraw to do that. Who was say Sika, ya far workers, ya say ya here MP no akote gatem. No. Mean who say all the developed countries and advanced countries are see a military no. Or who's a Trump and I say not David Cameron or and now Putin et gatem. No. It's a failure. And we don't need to admit that as leadership. A systemic failure, ya jatum say my muhano, and then the leadership. Ezo asumdwe hine. Asumdwe beba. Obeba zona bokone conflict that so. But ezo asumdwe Brandon. Our you see the template that we have been using to select our presidents has more to do with PR inclined than the reality that we face. That's why I'm saying that let Ken be Ken. Let the guy be himself.
As an ordinary Ghanaian, I be a team baby. What is different about what me but say Ken becoming a president? Mm-hmm. What's going to be different? What can template be a Ghana hire you for so long?
MY.
So what is going to be different with Ken?
That's why I say I say if you want development, one, leadership counts. And if you want leadership, true leadership, character counts. Character is everything. So now character counts, yeah, can say you should look at Nipano, the hallmark or the trademark of him. Say me not here. One thing we cannot all deny and say yes, Ken, you're no nonsense person. And just add here as on my or Maya need to jump at traffic, to buy a Land Cruiser. Utri any you police force have been general bra we bu emraso. Why? Because obi ebi. Sana etie ha. You need character, you need leadership, you need somebody who can look into everybody's face and say, even if the whole country say, Sada na yajitu mo onye day, onyintu, nemretia. Character, leadership counts. What about the lifestyle and the life situation? What does it stand for? Me, I want me key no.